right now.
Welcome to another episode of Sozo TV, a place where we discuss men and those who love them. This episode, we are going to be discussing a very interesting topic. Before that, my name is Alausa Adewi, and I'm here with my panelists, the Don, and then Presley, my fine boy. And today we are going to be discussing an interesting topic, and basically we are talking about relationships, and it appears in this era and time it's getting one-sided, where women marry men with the intention that they will curate them and turn them curate and turn them into what they want, not who the guy is, what they want in future. And I'm going to be coming for Presley because Presley is still single. We want to learn from you how people are curating you. And now they are turning you into what they want to be. And maybe your experience, not only for you, but what has happened around you. So it's an era of money partnerships where one partner, often the woman, is trying very hard to shape or fit her partner into a certain lifestyle, image or aesthetic. Changing how he dresses, how he speaks, his phonetics, his carriage, and all that. Meanwhile, this gentleman is just fine in his Crocs, but really he must wear costume. So, if I ask you, and I will start with you, Don, how are social media featured in this? And the influence around people, how has it affected relationships? Maybe not you, maybe what you've seen around you.
He said done now.
I'm going to start with that. I'm going to come to Don. Yeah.
I think it was you.
I barely mentioned his name. Don't mind.
Don't.
Oh, I said
He said done actually.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Well,
Yeah.
I meant Presley. This is my boy.
Oh, Lord have mercy. So what's the question again? I'm distracted.
So, social media. What have you seen as social media has affected people around you in how women are trying to fit their spouse, or even men trying to fit their spouse or intended into a particular, mold that you want it to appear.
Yeah.
In this.
Oh, I think it's definitely something that happens. Let's just put that on the table. I think it's something that happens. As a matter of fact, I have a personal experience. And and how I would phrase it is a lot how I phrase it to myself when I wanted to understand what was going on was it felt like there was a scenario where both of us had personalities and then one had a bigger personality than the other. And it's a matter of how this personality would then influence the other person's personality. And then I started to ask myself questions like, how do I even show up in this relationship? Why do I feel like after a while, this is no longer me? I don't feel like myself anymore. Something is fundamental to dress a particular way, to speak a particular way, to show up in this kind of places, that kind of thing. I do think, and just speaking from a broader perspective now, I do think that when two individuals come together in a relationship, there's a tendency for one personality to want to overshadow the other. Right. And it's fundamentally why would always say find someone who has the same values as you, because what then happens is if both of you at the very least have the same values, it means that no matter how the personalities are coming into each other, at the very least you are maintaining the same path still, and nobody feels like they're deviating from the things that they believe as values that should keep them grounded.
At night to eat amala.
That one is case for family meeting.
I can't wear my socks. I have to dress in a particular way because his friends will be there.
Yeah.
I have to appear in a particular way because I had an interesting conversation with one of my in-laws, and she was saying that you cannot. So the husband was saying, I want to cross the road and eat because they are quite comfortable. And the wife said, no, you can't just cross the road. The driver will go and do it for you. You can't follow me to the mall. My other friends, their husbands are not following them to the mall. And the guy said, it's my life. I want to follow my wife to the mall.
Right.
But the wife said, no, where God has placed us.
Yeah.
You can't just follow me to the mall because my other friends, their husbands are not following them to the mall.
Yeah. I'm so glad you bring this up as well, because it provides another perspective to us, and that other perspective is, on the one hand, we're discussing personalities spilling into the other, but on the other hand, we should also consider being in a relationship and your ability to also be flexible. And both of you have a lot more wisdom, so I'd also like to hear from you as to say because you are no longer just one unit by yourself. There's now two of you.
Mm.
What are areas that you want to make adjustments to also accommodate the other person? Of course, not in a way that then becomes harmful to yourself or even your own beliefs and values. But I think you also need to at some point recognize that I'm not just in this thing by myself anymore. There's the other person, and I need to be able to also show up in a way.
Have you ever felt pressured?
Pressured.
Pressured like you have to do it in a particular way, to appear in a particular way. I know the answer, but
This man is from Nnewi.
So let one of the things I tell people is this, right? I say that imagine that the person you are going to be married to does not change at all. Will you be comfortable? Will you still be comfortable with that person, with that relationship? If you are not, leave it for another
don't base
person.
your relationship
On that you will change or she will change. If the person does not change, will you be miserable? Will it be a deal breaker for you? If the person if it's going to be a deal breaker for you, walk. Because human beings cannot change other human beings. That's the job of the Holy Spirit. Right? We all see parents that live with their children till they are 18 and some even till 30, and those children have not changed one bit. And then because they now married you, because you are in love now, you have BBL, you have shape.
Why is it not there that you mentioned?
I'm explaining something. So because you have shape, because the person loves you, because of that, you think that you have the power to change the person. So we really have to be careful. I think we are the ones that set ourselves up for failure, right? Like you had said, if both of us are not going in the same direction, why we enter the same bus?
Right.
Do you understand?
It could be junction to another place, so you drop and then
no, but see, somebody that is going, if we're going to Ekpe, for instance, my destination is before Ekpe, right? But it's on that same. We are at least headed in the same direction.
Yeah.
So imagine that somebody is going to Ekpe, the other person is going in the other direction, and then because I like you, we now
look all those
and then join the bus. We will fight on the road because number one, we are headed in
different directions, and fuel is expensive.
Oh, please don't say that again.
Food is not expensive.
Okay, the price of fuel is going up. How about that?
It's not the you are reminding us.
What you just said is what I'm trying to look for. How the question I wanted you to answer is: have you ever felt that somebody is managing you or pushing you to a particular outcome, how to respond in a particular way so that you can fit a particular narrative?
No, so as long as you are with any female, remember one of the episodes we talked about that the feminine gender, by creation are naturals.
Pushes, yeah.
Naturals tend to want to make things better. So I would not now say that that I've not it. So pressure may not be the word, but the women that have come into our lives, whether our sisters, our moms, they want us to get better. They see areas that we can, of course, be better at. And it's not a bad thing, as it were, right? That you have a woman that says that you are this thing you are doing, you are better than that.
Yeah.
Right. It's not a bad thing. But when the person then goes out of her way to recreate you in her own image, right? That from where I'm coming from, people are supposed to do so thing, so thing.
Yeah.
We're supposed to live in a particular place.
That's the kind. That's an area where I feel that.
Yeah. Everybody told us that we have more viewers than followers, and we need to correct that.
We need to like.
Yes.
We need to share.
Yes.
We need to subscribe to the Sozo TV podcast.
Yes. Now let's go back to the conversation. If I may just quickly come in there, I was listening to a man recently. He was with his wife. I'd never met them before, interestingly, but we were at a function, and he was just speaking to me. He asked me if I was married and all of that, and we just started the conversation. By the end of that conversation, it was just a great man, and he said something that I thought was really powerful. He said, "Look, find a woman that you want to get married to, and just get married." His wife was standing right there, and then he goes ahead to say, "Women will challenge you. She will put pressure on you, right? But all of these things is for your betterment."
Correct.
I thought it was so wise, but then he said it again. Let me tell you again, she will challenge you. She will put pressure on you. It will feel like she's pushing you. But the moment you identify that it's for your betterment, and I think that that's what really you are speaking to, the pressure is not necessarily the bad thing. It's where it's leading you to. If it's negative pressure, which is then managing or manipulation, that's or comparing, or even I'd say compulsion to an extent. That's when we know that something else is wrong here. But if it's, you're waking up.
But Don, I'm sorry to cut in. Compelling you to do some things at times, it may be for your good.
Yes.
Maybe for your good. It now depends on how the wisdom behind the woman that is managing it.
Yeah, but do we call it compulsion if it's for your good?
You will say it's compulsion because you won't see. You don't want change is difficult.
Yeah, but because
you don't want to do it.
Because the definition of compulsion that I have is you're making me do something that's not necessarily.
You're forcing me to do it.
Exactly.
Yes, you're forcing me.
Yeah.
Yes, I thought you force you to do one or two things. No, my wife is a risk taker. She's an extreme optimist. She always feels that it can't get better. If I
get worse.
You always get better. It won't get worse. Now, if I look at a trajectory of her life, the things that she has pushed are the things that we've been able to achieve. I am easily contented. We used to live on the mainland. I was fine. 2-bedroom, God has been kind. Just 1 or 2 cars, God has been kind. But she kept pushing to say no. When we were going to get a 2-bedroom, she wanted a 4-bedroom. I said no, so that if I bring everybody to come and live with me, I'll stay with this 2-bedroom. We lived in that 2-bedroom for like 5 years. She kept pushing. That no, we can get more. When we wanted to move to the island, she wanted another 4-bed. I said no, my salary can only afford this 3-bedroom. And I got the 3-bedroom terrace. 2 years down the line, I was asking myself, I could have done the 4.
Right.
But she was pushing. But that pushing is for you to get something better. But when the pushing is for me to maybe measure up to a particular status or a class, to share a table,
Right.
that's when I see a problem. You are trying to force me to live what is comfortable for me and convenient for me to appear in a particular way. That's the one I was asking whether
no. So even if you do, I'm not the kind of person that you can. I'm not the kind of person that you. I know what I want from life, right? And I am happy that I believe that life is in phases and men are in sizes, right? And I would while I would work hard, I would dream, I will work towards it, but I won't go and yeah, you can bite more than you can chew, but hey, I don't go and do things that they did not send me just because I want to make you happy. I know I
don't want to impress anybody.
Impress you. If I not impress you now, how does that help me? I help my family, right?
So our understanding is that because couples will go and then pushing you towards growth is fantastic. Growth is good. It's whether I want to do it or not, forcing me to go and take an MBA class, to learn a new skill, to meet somebody, to network with people that will better. Like that is fine.
Yeah.
But when it's to satisfy a particular ego that you have, or you want to satisfy or meet up to a particular standard with your friends, then count me out.
Yeah. Can I ask a question though? Should there be a way? Should there be an approach to even this pressure application, this forcing, like you said, even though we know that the end goal is for good? Do you think that it's possible to do it in a way that just makes the other person feel like I'm not going to do this thing just because of?
The Bible says that, and Delilah vexed the spirit of Samson.
Okay.
But was Delilah forcing him for good?
There was a lot of pressure.
So there's a kind of
the pressure wasn't for good
that
though.
will make you cave in,
Right?
If you remain in that environment.
Yeah. Because I'm trying to help someone that would say things like, "Oh, but I was doing it for his good."
And no, so okay, so I want for the benefit of those people that are the ones that are doing the pressuring. One thing you should take note of is there are seasons, there are times,
Yeah.
and then there should be. It's not every time you find an opportunity that you remind the guy that that we have not gone on vacation. You know that the family need to experience something new to bring novelty into the relationship. You have said it once, the man has gotten the message. He may not talk, but in his mind, he's already trying to figure out a way.
How is going to
But
work?
the moment you keep putting pressure over and over
Yeah.
and over
Yeah.
again, at that point you will shut a part of his brain down.
I think the important thing is that don't let your spouse feel like a project.
So
That
profound.
I'm working on you to bring
Yeah.
you up to a particular. So growth is fine, but don't let me feel as if
That
I need
you
help.
married the project.
Yes, you just I need to just shape you up. Don't let me feel less of who I am.
And this goes both ways.
Yes, it goes both. Once
Yeah.
I don't feel like that, then it gets better. So we need to understand that growth is important.
Yes.
Okay, we need to understand that women will nurture and push you to make you better. But at the same time,
Sometimes
that's you have to put your feet down.
yeah, it's not funny if you're on the receiving end, because so there's a thin line between pushing people and nagging. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Is a thin line, and you have to be very careful and strategic about how you bring up these things that you really want your husband or your wife to do. If you cross that line, the person will start avoiding you. The person starts shutting down conversations. The person does not want to be around you.
Right.
And so that thing you think you want to get, you now get a counter of it,
To be counterproductive.
and counterproductive. So people say that, oh, I'm not intimate with my husband is not intimate with me. Where is he going to get intimacy with? Because every little opportunity that he gets with you, that
You're trying to
you
bring up
remind them
something he hasn't done.
that Chris needs to go to. He needs to go to
That's where
international
that's
school.
where
That's
like
where
first children are.
everybody
You need to be there.
every time you get, you remind them. If they are preaching in church, they remind you that this international school, everything about you. He will start running. He will start coming late and be watching. Have you slept?
On a last one, I think I need to get a last word from Don from Presley. I think Don has given his last word on it. So as a guy, when you are talking to an intended and you feel like a project, what does that do to you?
I think it like you typically say it's a red flag.
Just shut down.
That's what I would do.
Say this is not for me.
Yeah.
This is not for me.
No, but is it a real red flag, or that the flag they've not raised it? But come on.
I mean, if you're at the stage of you're just talking or you're dating, and this person doesn't have enough emotional awareness to know that you don't just present someone a cold cup of water in a dirty cup, I think it's a sign.
That's serious. Anyway, it's bringing everything together. It's bringing everything together.
We are
today.
praying for you.
Yes. Relationships today are becoming one-sided. Maybe the deeper question is, are we building partnerships? Are we building projects? The answer to that will determine what we need to do. Don't go away yet. Okay, before we close the show, we have something exciting for you.
Welcome back. Daddy's Corner is this segment on this episode of the Sozo TV podcast. And essentially what we do here is listen to you. You share your thoughts, your dilemma, and your concerns with us. And we do our best to share what we think is wise counsel that could help you. On today's segment, I have this story that I'm just going to read and of course allow Mr. Lausa and Don respond to. This person says, I'm a married man in my late 30s. My wife is amazing and a great person.
Amen.
I am very big on peace. My wife can be confrontational. The moment she speaks about an issue, she moves on. However, sometimes her words are harsh in the moment.
That means it's true.
She hurts she hurts me with her words. However, I always choose to hear the good in what she means.
Okay.
My question is, sometimes I think she lacks emotional intelligence on how to speak to me and also when to speak to me. Where do I draw the line to address issues or suck things up for peace to reign?
Wow. Well, the fact that what they are saying to him is harsh means that it's true to a large extent. What he needs to do is to communicate how he's making him feel. So what they are saying to him is not bad. It's probably to make him go. However, the way it's being said. And so maybe he also needs to check his ego. really, because if what they're saying is true, whatever way they say it, take it. However, communicate how you are feeling to the wife and let her know how the words are making you feel, and that's what is important.
Yeah, I would say that there are you can say the truth in love.
Many ways, yes.
You can say the truth in love. You can communicate truth without destroying the ego of whoever you are staying, or the self-esteem of the person you are staying with. So stick with issues, not with the personality.
Right.
And so that's for how to communicate. Now this guy has to, in the time of peace, have a conversation with his wife, and let it not when in the time of war.
Yeah.
In the time of peace, where he has not done anything or nothing has been done, right? And have that conversation with your wife and say, honey, I was thinking that, that's, I really like how you point out areas of concerns or that we need to, and you know that you are not like me, and I really appreciate that. I will appreciate also that, that when you communicate what I've done wrong, you have to
Do it in this manner.
do it in this manner. That when you do it in so way, this is how it makes me feel, and this is what it does to me, right? And the issue then leaves, it goes beyond what has happened to her.
It makes me feel unseen. Make me feel less of a man.
less of
I have an example. So a former colleague called me like 2-3 months ago, and she was talking about her husband's business. So the guy in there to put some structure, but because he doesn't want structure, he wants to have a hold on it. So he's the one supervising what they're doing on site, he's the one supervising logistics. I say, no, this business will not scale this way, because she has been in-house. The guy has been on the street all his life. So she called me and said that your brother is not listening. So I said, how do you tell him? And so she went up. The way she went at me, I said, I too won't listen. I too won't listen. The way you are, because I said, your husband grew up on the streets. This masculine energy you are bringing, immediately you start, he will resist it, because all his life he has fought people like you. So why don't you just, when his head is on your bosom at night on the bed and you are rubbing your head?
Problem. Why is it there on the bosom?
Why? Yeah, it must be there for this thing to happen. And just rub his head and say, do you know that this business, if you do it this way, you can scale it this way? Have you thought about it this way? Have you read this book? Or even maybe just send a story of something like that on the net that's happened. Let him read it. So she said, so ma'am, I should tone down. I said, I know you. You have a masculine energy. Tone it down. I know your husband. Use your feminine energy, and it's going to work. She said, I've been blind all the while. She has not called me since, which means
This is working.
something has worked.
Yeah.
So also needing to understand the person you are with will work. So this person, there's people that have masculine energy as females because they want it done.
Right.
They're cholerics.
Right.
So just sit him down and say, it's now making me feel, you're making me feel less of a man. And when I feel that way, I don't like, you won't enjoy me. I won't even do what you want me to do. But if you say it this way, then I understand, and then I will adjust.
Someday
Let's
soon,
be better.
we'll talk about how, both the male and female can master the energy they bring into a relationship and see how best they can bring it to the table. But I
the
agree with both
balance.
of you. I think that for this individual, there's an opportunity to do two things: an opportunity for self-leadership, to grow, and an opportunity for even leadership in the relationship. You can actually help your spouse be better, with emotional intelligence. I don't want this to become another long-winded comment, because I think that both of you have really captured it perfectly well. To you watching this, please do not shy away from sharing your stories and dilemmas with us. We'll be happy to contribute our 2 cents to ensure that you indeed get better
2 cents
in
I
your
thought it was
relationship.
50. It's not up to 50
Relationship
cents again.
or marriage. Please use the link that's showing on the screen right now to ensure that you get through to us. And with that, on that note, we say goodbye. Thank you so much for watching this particular episode of the Sozo podcast. See you next time. Bye.